Welcome back to the King Cast, presented by the King Economics Division of the Social Sciences Department. I am your host, Frank Roche. With me, as always, Griffin Joo. Hello, Griff. And Jack Zipper. Jack, where are you coming to us from?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. I hear it's wonderful there.
I'm doing a triathlon tomorrow, so kind of just resting up.
What are the three legs?
So it's going to be just over a 2-mile swim, around a 40-mile bike or 50-mile bike, and then a 11-mile run.
Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Let me jump in and participate.
Of course.
Anyway, welcome back to the show. We have some good topics for you today. Jack's checking on commercial real estate in the WeWork bankruptcy. Griffin's checking in on a resignation from the U.S. Senate by Joe Manchin and what that might mean. I'm checking on offshore wind farms. As always, we'll have some economic data and financial markets for you. And we'll do our lunch reviews, which we're kind of having fun with in the first few weeks here. We have a new scale for our lunch reviews. Viking helmets, 0 to 5 Viking helmets. All right, Jack, commercial real estate's a mess ever since COVID and the work from home era has begun. Commercial real estate's really in a jam. We're expecting that to really impact the economy sometime soon. And we got one of our first examples, WeWork, which is an office sharing company that's been in the news for quite some time. Not very successful, although they thought they were going to be huge. They had an IPO scheduled a couple of years ago that was stopped. The leader has made a fortune, but basically ruined the company. Jack, what happened with the WeWork bankruptcy?
So office sharing company WeWork filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in New Jersey federal court on Monday, November 6th. From the heights of its $47 billion unicorn valuation in 2019, the company has finally landed back down to earth with a loud thud after grappling with expensive leases, large-scale office space cancellations during the COVID-19 pandemic, and their CEO, Adam Newman, who was controversial management style, delusional business practices, and overall bad leadership, ran the company into the ground. Under Chapter 11, WeWork has gotten to work, restructuring their debt to about 92% of their company's lenders. This has already gotten rid of about $3 billion in debt, and they could use the bankruptcy code in order to get out of the long-term leases that have crippled them, but it still will be a huge negative on the company in general and for their parent company, the people who tried to take them public and who have really sunk a lot of their money into WeWork, SoftBank.
All right, Jack, interesting story there. Commercial real estate is the next leg to fall here for the U.S. economy, and that could impact banks in a meaningful way. We'll have to watch how that develops here in the coming days. The idea is we're going to transfer all these office space into apartments. That's not going to work out well. All right, thank you, Jack. Griff, you want to check in on Joe Manchin resignation, the Democrat senator from West Virginia, 76 years old, a moderate, angering lots of Democrats the past few years. Leans more Republican these days, but he's getting out. And what do we think is going to happen here? Tell us about the Joe Manchin resignation, Griff.
Yeah, so Democratic Senator Joe Manchin has announced that he will not be running for re-election for West Virginia in 2024. This announcement serves as a major blow to the Democratic Party and an opportunity for the Republican Party to kind of flip the seat. The Democrats hope to maintain narrow control over the Senate at least through 2024, but with Manchin no longer running, that could change. Senator Manchin did state, however, that he will continue to be active in politics all throughout the country, just not through the Senate. With Manchin no longer running, Republican candidate Jim Justice looks to win the seat. Polls had already shown that Manchin was trailing Justice when he first entered the race. While the Republicans are beginning to like their odds to flip control in the Senate, a spokesman for the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee told NBC last Thursday that Democrats have multiple pathways to protect and strengthen their Senate majority and are in a strong position to achieve this goal.
All right, well, let's quibble about the Senate majority. It's basically 50-50 in the Senate. We have a third of the Senate elected every 2 years. In this year, we have another third, actually 34 seats up this year. Democrats have most seats at risk compared to Republicans. If Manchin retiring, it's guaranteed to go to Republican in West Virginia. And so it could really tilt this towards Republicans. We'll see how it works out in the next year, of course. You mentioned Joe Manchin said he would continue to be active in politics, Griff. What do you think he's talking about? We all have our suspicions, but what did you find out?
Manchin never confirmed nor denied what his involvement in politics would be, but there have been some speculations that Manchin may be making a presidential run. While he is classified as a Democrat, he does have some involvement with the group No Labels, a centrist group that has hinted at a third-party presidential candidate run. Again, while there is no confirmation, things could get very interesting in these 2024 elections.
We have a lot of third-party candidates. This no labels group seems to be mostly funded by Republicans. Joe Manchin making a lot of Democrats nervous out there. All right, it'll be an exciting year ahead as we get into more and more politics. All right, let me talk to you a little bit about offshore wind farms getting very expensive and too expensive for some companies. The Danish company Ørsted announced that it's canceling the development of its two major offshore wind projects in New Jersey, Ocean Wind 1 and 2, blaming the poor American state of the economy, supply chain constraints, high rates of inflation, and interest rates. Ocean Wind 1 and 2 were extremely unpopular in New Jersey, prompting widespread protests and aggressive congressional opposition led by Jersey Shore lawmakers Chris Smith and Jeff Van Drew. Local fishing industry professionals fear the gigantic wind turbine maritime territory leases would prevent them from living off their own seas, kill off thriving fisheries, and destroy century-old traditions along the shore. Environmentalists noted a concurrent rise in deaths of marine mammals, particularly local whales and dolphins, as Ørsted used sonar to map the ocean floor. As of October, the federal government has documented 66 whales stranded along the Atlantic coast, including 10 in New Jersey. New Jersey has documented another 45 dolphins washing ashore in 2023. Federal agencies claim no evidence linked to the sonar and green energy projects in the documented surge in whale deaths. Despite these concerns, New Jersey Democrats, led by Governor Phil Murphy and backed by President Biden, are enthusiastically supporting and funding the Ørsted projects. The outside public and financial support from Democrats was apparently not enough, though, to get Ørsted to stay in New Jersey, as it cited a poor economic climate as the reason it will kill the projects. Macroeconomic factors have changed dramatically over a short period of time, with high inflation, rising interest rates, and supply chain bottlenecks impacting a long-term capital investment, said Ørsted Group's Executive Vice President and CEO, America's David Hardy. As a result, we have no choice but to cease development of Ocean Wind 1 and Ocean Wind 2. The cancellation means Ørsted likely now owes New Jersey taxpayers about $300 million, although it may find loopholes to not pay that money back. Not good for PR, obviously. The costs associated with the U.S. offshore wind projects have risen 57% since 2021 due to inflation in components and labor costs, as well as rising interest rates, leading a large number of canceled or renegotiated deals. This month has seen a disastrous number of canceled and abandoned offshore wind deals. Spanish utility Iberdrola SA agreed to pay $48.9 million in fines to cancel a wind power contract off the coast of Massachusetts. In Rhode Island, Danish developer Ørsted's bid to produce offshore wind power was rejected due to rising operational and developmental costs. And a plan for a wind farm off the shore of the United Kingdom has also been called by Swedish state-owned utility Vattenfall, who, you guessed it, blamed inflation. The huge amounts of money being spent mostly comes from the U.S. taxpayer via subsidies and tax breaks.
Mr. Roche, who controls our offshore wind infrastructure, and are there any concerns?
There are some concerns, and you won't be surprised. It's not Americans. That whole idea that the green energy world is going to bring lots of jobs isn't happening for Americans. The Danish, the Spanish, the Swedish, and the Germans dominate America's offshore wind farm construction and functioning, and so potentially a huge amount of electricity generation. There are serious national security concerns that don't seem to be being addressed. Lawmakers and marine experts have warned that the operation of massive wind turbines offshore would interfere with critical national security and military operations, questioned if turbines could survive hurricanes such as Superstorm Sandy, and expressed unease with foreign energy companies controlling a significant share of the power grid in America's most densely populated state, which would be New Jersey. All right, let's turn to our attention to our wonderful King community and check in on King things. Griff, what's happening at King these days?
This week, the King School was recognized as a Global Citizens Initiative Partner School. Members of the King community and GCI celebrated their long-lasting partnership during a special event this past Wednesday. Students, faculty, and alumni spoke on the importance of this connection and the importance of global citizenship in general. In the middle school, students engaged in a visit from Rodney Eric Lopez, a motivational speaker and educator who teaches about the values of community, having a growth mindset, as well as other things. The fun part is, though, he teaches it through dancing. He spoke on how dancing brings people out of their comfort zone, which in turn brings together a community. Fourth grade students connected with their kindergarten buddies this week through lessons on seed germination. In what I assume was their science classes, the fourth graders are tasked with creating a picture book describing the process of seed germination, which they got to share with and teach their kindergarten buddies. Overall, this week highlighted the importance and the value of the community here at King.
There's some great stories this week. A little shout out to Miss Laura Bowe, the Global Citizens Initiative there. She's a big part of that, so great stuff there. Dancing definitely takes us out of our comfort zone. All right, Jack, let's check in on King Sports. What's happening out there in the world of King Sports as we end the fall sports season, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, it was a busy week for our sports teams with the FAA fall postseason in full swing. After cruising to the final, King varsity volleyball dominated Sacred Heart 3-1 to win their second straight FAA championship. They hope to emulate this success in the NEPSAC tournament next week. Varsity football has their last home game against Capital Prep after unfortunately being eliminated in the MIFL semifinals against Hackley 2 weeks ago. But unfortunately, varsity boys soccer against GCS ended in heartbreak as they unfortunately choked a 2-0 lead to lose to GCS 3-2, ending their FAA tournament hopes. But they hope to bounce back, as I believe they will be entering the NEPSAC tournament.
All right, so Griffin is on the boys varsity soccer team, and you just told him he choked right in front of his face. Jack, please, where's the compassion? Griff, I hope you didn't take that too personal. The viewers can see Mr. Griffin Joo has a little bit of a black eye. That was from the last game, right, Griff? Your last game? Tell us about your black eye.
I went in for a little slide tackle, and the GCS kid, he jumped to try to dodge me, and I caught his knee straight into the eye. So a little swollen. It's gotten better, though.
Yeah, so it looks better than it was during the week.
Yeah.
All right, tough guy. All right, thank you for King Things and King Sports. Let's go ahead and check in on what I like, a new fun segment to lunch reviews. We have a new scale now. Okay, we're calling our scale Viking Helmet Scale, so 0 to 5 Viking helmets. And we have our first weekly poll. Did you guys see the poll yesterday?
I did.
Good. Griff?
I did not participate, but next week I will be sure to participate.
Okay. Did you not see it?
No, I did not.
Okay, but it's called email. How many unopened emails do you have?
A lot.
Okay. I'd like to see the record. I'd like to see the student with the most unopened emails. I bet you it's in the thousands.
I will say I do have 2,500 unopened emails.
Okay, so there we go. How about you, Jack? Unopened emails?
I think I have like 3 right now.
Okay.
It's just all college spam, unfortunately.
Yeah, you guys must get buried with emails from colleges.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, lunch reviews. Monday, we had beef and tomato macaroni, and a soup with sausage tortellini soup. I did not enjoy this meal. I'm not a cheese guy again, so I had a salad and some pasta. So I can't really rate this one. How about you?
So I had the beef and tomato macaroni. I would say it wasn't bad. I'm going to rate it a 3 Viking helmets.
Okay.
I did not have the beef and macaroni. Had a classic panini. I feel like it's my go-to at this point.
It's going to be a reputation of yours.
Yeah, I would still give this a 3 out of 5 Viking helmets.
All right, no school on Tuesday, so nothing to discuss. On Wednesday, we had the biggest lunch of the year by far. It was chaos in the cafeteria. We had a sushi bar, we had the nacho bar, and then we had the normal hot plate stuff and the sandwiches and salads. So the cafeteria, the lines were a little bit messy. I'm not sure you had much time to eat on Wednesday. But sushi bar with spicy beef chili, nacho bar, and butternut squash soup. I don't eat sushi. I don't do cheese. I don't do butternut squash. So again, I was out on this one. This was my hack day for my BLT. So I can't rate this one, but I know this was very successful and popular. What do you have, Griff?
I actually wasn't here on Wednesday because I was healing my eye, but from what I've heard, it was a really great lunch. So I wish I was there.
Jack, please tell me you tried one of these things.
I mean, I can't believe that you didn't. I mean, this was one of the best lunches ever. This was also the debut of the new plates.
The new plates, that's right.
So, I mean, this was a 5 out of 5 for me.
Oh, fantastic.
You could not go wrong.
Love the new plates, by the way. Love the, and in fact, people are talking about stealing them so you can have sets at home. Don't steal the plates. Thursday, we had breakfast for lunch, which I do enjoy. I don't eat the eggs, but I eat everything else, and vegetable tortilla soup. I'm going to give this 3.5 helmets out of 5. I love the breakfast potato, like the breakfast sausage. Made myself a nice little sausage sandwich, so I enjoyed this day. How about you, Griff?
Yeah, I don't really do the eggs, but sausage and potatoes. The potatoes are probably one of my favorite things at King. Good. They're just the best. So I would give this a 4 out of 5 in Viking helmets.
Jack?
Well, unfortunately for me, I'm allergic to eggs and I don't have breakfast for lunch. I just don't do that.
What'd you
So
go with?
I actually brought lunch in that day. I
Okay.
had some rice and chicken and rice, which was
Good.
really
And
nice.
we had that as an option on our survey as well. I had lunch from home. And then Friday, my best day of the week, as was last Friday, we had the chicken and sausage jambalaya with a chicken gumbo. Happy days with rice. It was spectacular. I'm going 7 Viking helmets out of 5.
Don't
Really
think
enjoyed
that's
this, and I'm
possible.
hoping maybe there's a little left over. It might be on the pasta station on Monday. What do you got, Jack? What'd you think of Friday's lunch?
I wasn't here. I was on a flight, but I would say if I would have eaten it, it would probably have been a 5 Viking helmets out of 5.
Okay. Junior's gonna love that. Griff, how about you?
I really like the chicken and sausage jambalaya. I think it's a really great chicken and rice combo. Add a little bit of sausage. So I would give this a 5 out of 5 too.
Okay, so a big winner there for us. All right, so we had our first lunch poll. I have the results for us. We have a winner for the best lunch of the week, not surprisingly, Sushi Wednesday. We had the sushi bar, the nacho bar. 56.5% of the respondents voted for Wednesday. Thursday's breakfast for lunch was number 2, followed by Friday's chicken and sausage jambalaya. So not too surprising there, pretty much in line with what we talked about. Favorite soup of the week was butternut squash, also on Wednesday. And second was no soup. And if you have any Seinfeld fans from the Soup Nazi, we'll have no soup for you or something like that as an option. And the third soup was the vegetable tortilla soup on Thursday. Okay, always fun. This week coming up, Monday, beef curry with curry lentil soup could be a favorite. Tuesday, although this may take it away, homemade meatballs. I love our meatballs with marinara sauce, chicken pot pie soup. Wednesday, vegetable lo mein and chicken teriyaki dumplings, spinach egg drop soup. Thursday, roast turkey breast with gravy, creamy sweet potato soup. And Friday, grilled chili lime chicken, black bean soup with cilantro. That is a nice, beef curry I like, homemade meatballs I like, grilled chili lime chicken I like. So it's going to be a tough one for me to pick a winner this coming week. Guys, you see anything that stands out for you?
Lo mein and dumplings, I know just around the school in general, everyone loves the dumplings.
Okay, so that's going to be a hit. What do you think, Jack?
The dumplings are great, but I'm really looking forward to the grilled chili lime chicken.
All right, so that's our lunch routine for us, and we got our helmet scale going. Okay, let's switch gears and go ahead and check about economics, data in the markets. Let's check on economic data for the weekend, November 10th, the week after non-farm payrolls, the employment situation report. Always a quiet week. Jack, not much to talk about. Tell us what went down.
So on Friday, we had the November U-Michigan's consumer sentiment. On Thursday, we had our weekly initial unemployment claims for the week ending November 4th, which was 217,000 versus 220,000 in the prior week. On Wednesday, we had our weekly MBA mortgage applications for the week ending of November 4th, up 2.5% versus down 2.1% in the prior week. On Tuesday, we had the September international trade goods balance and goods and services. And on Monday, there was no data.
Jack, I left you a little naked there. I forgot to tell you that Michigan consumer sentiment was 60.4, and I forgot to tell you that the trade balance was minus 61.5. A worsening trade balance, no big deal. We're going to see our first $1 trillion trade deficit with goods and services for 2023. Kind of scary stuff. Griff, how about for the week of number 13, the week we're in now? What do we have for data coming this week?
Monday, we have the October federal budget balance. Tuesday, we have the October consumer price index. Wednesday, of course, we have MBA mortgage applications for the week ending November 4th. We have the October producer price index, the November Empire State Manufacturing Index, and October retail sales. On Thursday, we have initial unemployment claims for the week ending November 11th, November Philadelphia Federal Reserve Business Conditions Index, the October capacity utilization, the October industrial production, and the September overall net international capital flows. And on Friday, we have October housing starts.
All right, so the market's going to be focused on the inflation data, CPI on Tuesday and PPI on Wednesday, get an insight on what the Fed might be doing with rates in December. All right, let's check in on financial markets. Jack, start us off with stocks.
So the S&P 500 opened the week at 4,357, had a high on Friday at 4,415, a low on Thursday of 4,334, and closed at the highs on Friday at 4,415, up 58 points for the week, or up 1.3%.
Can't keep a good stock market down. The world is in chaos. Economy is weakening, and somehow buy stocks. I think it's rigged. I say this all the time. Bonds, Griff, tell us.
Yeah, the benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury bond opened the week at 4.64%, had a high on Monday of 4.65%, a low on Tuesday of 4.47%, and a close of 4.65%, up 1 basis point on the week.
Okay, so bond prices rising, interest rates falling. I mean, we were just testing the 5% level just a few weeks ago, but Fed commentary is taking the wind out of the sails of higher rates. Jack, how about foreign exchange?
So the US dollar index opened the week at 105.80, had a high on Friday of 105.98, a low on Wednesday of 105.38, and a close of 105.80, unchanged for the week.
Yeah, dollar was kind of quiet this week. Even when we saw interest rates fall, dollar strength remains the theme. And Griff, finish us off with commodities.
The Dow Jones Commodities Index opened the week 990.82, had a high on Monday of 992.16, a low on Friday of 977, and a close of 978.33, down 12.49 points on the week, or down 1.2%.
Okay, seeing some slowing economy around the world, and this, of course, takes a little wind on the sails of commodity prices. Plus, they've been rallying for some time, so lots of profit taking going on in commodities. I stick with my recent call: sell rallies in stocks, sell rallies in bonds, buy dips in commodities, and buy dips in the dollar. Again, you're on your own for making actual decisions. This is just my opinion. Let's finish off the show with our friendly reminders. Jack, start us off.
Do your reading, do your homework, and come to class prepared.
Use your blinker when making turns or switching lanes. Stop signs mean stop, and no texting while driving.
And don't forget, always try to buy American. It's hard to do, but always try. That's it for us. Join us again next week. To tell your friends and family, listen to the KingCast at kingschoolct.org, academics, upper school, clubs and activities, and we are out. Thank you, guys.